Hello, how's it going? This is Ian Oakes, the Solution Engineer for Sprint, and today I'm going to demo to you the Spireon Fleetlocate. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right, so here's the main screen that you will see, the admin will see, and let me expand this. So everything here on the left, this is your grid, okay? And the first option we're on is dashboard, and dashboard here has all these different widgets that you can see and customize to your liking. So this is all data that you set up that you want to see. You can see speeding, you can see idling, you can see driver basic scores, really anything that you want to see. Like over here, I can see that truck 28, based off of the red, has been idling a lot, just off a 0 to 4 score, 0 being good, 4 being bad. I can see that SE demo, this one right here, has been working after hours that I set. I set a certain amount of hours, and this person's going above and beyond those. So for the interest of time, let me continue moving. But again, you can add any report here that you would like to have. I'm going to go to the next option, which is map. And map basically shows you where all of your vehicles are on a map. So all you have to do is, if you want to know where any one of these are, is simply just click into it. So I just clicked into truck 16. I can see truck 16 is currently going down I-60, and they have active tracking enabled. I can see that he's currently going 55 miles an hour, and this is in real time. Now, if I click the driver, I can click Show Trip, and this gives me what we like to call a breadcrumb trail of where this person started and where they are going, to make sure that this person took the optimized route. I can see where they started. So they started right here at Colmac Energy and proceeded this way. Okay, so I'm going to back out of here. The thing I want to show you is add zone. So add zone is a geofence. And normally you'd want to set these up around your headquarters or a job site. I'm going to show you how to add one. So it's really simple. I just clicked map, right? And then I clicked add zone. And so now I just can pick, let me click out of here. Now I can just pick where I would like to add my zone. So I'm going to come in here to Rockford. You can also search by address, but for the purpose of this, you get this nice 3D view, by the way. I'm going to come in here and zone this. So I'm going to just boom, click here, boom, click here, boom, 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 and I'm done. And I'm going to name this Rockford job site. Job site again. And I'm going to make this, doesn't really matter to me, I'm going to say blue, and I'm going to click save. And there we go. So later on, now that I've created this zone, I can thus attach rules and associate those with this zone. So I could say, notify me anytime somebody enters this zone or leaves this zone. And this zone, we will see this later on in this presentation. Okay, so next thing down here in the grid is vehicles. Vehicles is really easy. Basically, this is just where you add them. So I would add. You can also import and then make your edits as well. Activity, we have a ton of options here. We have risk management, which is where you can basically get a nice risk analysis of potential things that might cause an accident. I'm going to go ahead and run this report and show me the details. And I can see here that this person was speeding and certain things like this. Click Show Details again. I can see this person was idling for a decent amount of time. But the most important thing to me with risk management here is that we can click in here and we can see the basic driver behavior score. So this just gives you the 0 to 5 score. 0, it's golf score, so the lower the number, the better, just like golf. 0 to 5 score based off of the most basic metrics like idling, speeding, harsh braking, and accelerating. So that I can see that my best drivers are these guys right here with the zeros. And yeah, so I can export this report. And again, it's a point-based thing, so it's not like, hey, you've been a bad boy. More like, hey, let's try to improve your score kind of conversation that you can have with these people. We're going to move down to speed profile. This gives you a more holistic view on speeding. I'm going to click for last week, and let's do truck 16. Click apply changes. And it gives you this, when it's done loading, give it a second here. It gives you this nice little graph view. And you can see second for second what was going on. Blue is the posted speed, and orange is orange is the posted speed. Blue is what the person was going. Now this is if I want to see more detailed, I'm going to click here, view trips, and then I can see every detail here that I want to see. I can also do an itemized report that I can then export to PDF or Excel, whatever's up, whatever I prefer. All right, so we're going to go down to drivers congregating. This is pretty simple. This is just a report showing congregation of drivers that were nearby. This is going to tell you where they were, how long they were there, and the job site, and obviously which vehicles. When this thing finishes loading. This takes a second because with drivers congregating, I selected all of the vehicles because I want to know what all the vehicles were doing. So I can see here that drivers 16, 22, and 27, 26, basically 18 and up, were all congregating for about 10 hours at the Eagleton Trucking Yard, one of my zones, my locations that I set up. All right, so we're going to move on further. I'm going to go down to work hours. Work hours basically just makes tracking work and time cards simpler. It's obviously a hard thing to track, keep up with. This is here just to make it simpler. It tells you the driving time, idling time, how much time they spend at a zone. Just a basic time card here to make timekeeping a lot simpler. You also get work hours. You can set that up, the hours that you want your guys to be working and not be working, and therefore you can tailor a excuse me. You can tailor a rule to it. So, if you say I don't want my guys working past 5, you'll get a rule / alert when they're working past 5 or in the vehicle past 5, and then you can set up work holidays too. With this, you can also get IFTA, International Fuel Taxing Administration. Click apply changes here, and I get my IFTA report. Give it a second to load. Okay, and so I see the vehicle, the jurisdiction, enter time, exit time, and the odometer. One thing to note with this is that since it's a plug-and-play solution, odometers are automatically filtered in there so that you don't have to go in and manually enter that in every time. It's an automatic thing. You can also change the view here and do, actually it already is in report style. You can do advanced and get the advanced view. View accidents. This is here to help you in the event of an accident. If there is an accident, this will give you the 30 seconds before and after of the vehicle, where they were, how fast they were going, etc. And that's what that's there for. basically log data leading up to the accident. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into hours of service. You get the duty status logs. So in here, I can see the logs. I can see when they started, when they stopped. See this guy initiated the sleeper berth at 10:13 in the morning and took a nap. And then I'm going to go into violations. This is where you can see hours of service violations. I can see that this person was driving more than 8 hours, and etc. Now, just to quickly note this, you may or may not know this, but there are 3 trucker duty limits. The first one being the person is not supposed to work more than a 14 the person is not supposed to work more than a 14-hour work duty time at any given time. And then there's an 11-hour driving limit. The person's not allowed to drive for more than 11 hours. And then there's a weekly limit, which basically just says you can't work more than 60 hours or 70 hours, depending on what the company sets up. Okay, so now that we've touched on that, we can also go to availability. This is a nice feature in case you get a new job a new job site you need to dispatch. You can come in here and see who is available. And that pretty much covers hours of service. I'm going to quickly show you what it looks like for the driver. Okay, so for the driver, they get in the vehicle, they sit down, and they log into the tablet. This is what they see. Also, if you're doing a dual driver setup or even a triple driver setup and you have 3 people in the truck, you can add them by clicking here and clicking Add Driver. Now, they're not getting tracked. They are getting tracked for their on duty, but they're not getting tracked for driving. And then when they swap places, you can assign that person that you added as the main driver. See, add co-driver. All right, so you can also do a DVIR here, driver vehicle inspection report. You can see here there needs to be a repair that's done and the trailer. So this is where I would go as the driver to do that report. I can walk around with the tablet in hand and do my driver vehicle inspection report and then submit that. If I have this issue like here, I can send this message. This is a two-way communication between myself and the admin. I can say, hey, there is an issue with the tires. Please help. I am hungry. Forgot how to spell hungry. Send Taco Bell. Send. So my boss is going to get that, hopefully not fire me, and hopefully bring me some Taco Bell. The other thing we have here is obviously hours of service, the big deal, right? This box right here shows me how much time I have left to drive very clearly. Very, very clearly. Of the limits that I mentioned, I can see all of those here. So I could see for my weekly limit, I have 68 hours left that I can work for my week period. I see that I have 12 hours left on duty, and I see that I have 9 hours left to drive. Off is off duty, on is on duty, D is driving, SB is sleeper berth for if I take a nap during my drive. Okay, so we're going to go back to, let me show you the graph real quick. So this is the graph. Green means confirmed, and gray means unconfirmed. Anytime after a work day, you have to go in and confirm your logs, and that's what these gray ones are. So this clearly depicts here that I started at 1 p.m. and then I on duty, and then I started driving at 2 p.m. and then I got on duty at 2:30 p.m. Okay, I can also see the logs this way too, whichever way I prefer to see it. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go back to where I was, back to the admin portal. And we're going to go down to engine and maintenance, the next thing in the grid. So I'm going to click engine and maintenance, and this basically gives me engine faults, engine alerts. So I can see basic things like that. Vehicle check engine light, oil needs to be changed, door is open, basic things like that. Fuel usage. Fuel usage is only by the vehicle. So it's only by the vehicle. Some vehicles support it out of the box. Some don't. Do not have a list that provides that, but we can get you that information to see if your vehicle is compatible. If your vehicle is not compatible, we can look at options like a fuel card. But yeah, this is a pretty great feature if your vehicle is compatible. So if I click in here, I can see that this person was filling up, and they filled up 17 gallons. Go out of here, click this person, and it shows me their MPG and the amount of gallons that were used. If you go into DVIR, just like we saw over here, this person submitted this repair. For the admin, this is where I would go in and see this type of information. So let's go back here, and I'm going to do all drivers. Select all and click apply. And here's the current ones that I got. So let's click here. This person did a pre-trip, and they said the horn was inoperable. Not sure who would say that. It's quite strange. Let's go back here. This person says the brakes are not working. I'm going to say, you're wrong, and certify that as safe. And I'm going to type in my name. And click this. Cool. And then click return. And there we go. So you got the check mark there. And then this one, I'm going to say, I'm going to leave that because that's still not working. Trailers. This is where all of my trailers are. Just like vehicles here, I can add trailers. This is where I would set them up and add them. Reminders. This is basically reminders that I want to get. And that's pretty much it. So down here, we're going to move into zones and messages. Zones is all the geofences that were created, places of interest. There are a lot here. Let me try to find the one that I just did. Rockford job site. It's the one that I did earlier. Rockford job site. This building looks really cool in 3D. You can also import zones, customer visits. We're going to select all, and this shows basically zones that were visited. Routes, I could see plan versus actual. Select all again. I could see who took the most optimized route. It looks like there was no issues there, so I didn't get any alerts. If you go into messaging, I can see there's a message here. Hey, there's an issue with the tires. Please help. I am hungry. Send Taco Bell. In reply to this, I will send help, but Taco Bell, really not happening. Okay, and then I'm going to click send, and that fired off. White is obviously what I sent. Yellow is what was sent to me. And that pretty much concludes messaging. I'm going to go into rules and groups now. So this says rules, but it's important to note that this is actually supposed to be alerts. So rules, alerts, interchangeable, and this is where you set up the good stuff. So if you want to be super sensitive with harsh braking, you can put it up here to 0.47 Gs, and you want to know exactly what's going on. Harsh acceleration, again, you can set all this up and customize it. You can customize who gets the alert, harsh cornering, speeding, seat belts, idle times, all of the stuff that you can possibly imagine, rules and alerts that you want to get, set them up here. Long lunch, set it up. Early leave, set it up. Everything that you want, just you can add it here. Exceptions are the exceptions to the rules that you created. So we're going to select all, apply changes, and it's going to show me all of the basically violations to the rules that I made. And here they are. That's everything right there. So I show this guy stopped. Actually, let's go back here. So long stops. So I click long stops. All of these people had long stops. This guy was stopped for an hour. And this one was stopped for 33 minutes. We're going to click back. I want to see who was speeding. Let me find speeding. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people were speeding. Let's click in here. Shows you where, how fast they were going. Shows you every single thing that you would like to see. And again, you can set up alerts so that you get notified for all of these things. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for this little presentation and demo. Again, my name is Ian Oakes, and that's pretty much it.